purpose that you invent, you know? Okay. And so your best self, your chi, is your guide. And it's your highest authority, and you've got to follow it, and that is your Tao. Okay. You know, so I've gone a long way with all this. I didn't start with this when I started trying to understand all this. Okay. All right. So, well, I don't know whether to just leave it, let you have a look at it, continue it another day, you know, because it's a bit much at the moment.
That's all right.
But we could, I would just do what I said about how I discovered these things in the first place.
That's interesting.
And I absolutely love this, and I love it better than that, because it's much more useful to me.
Okay.
Much more useful. I can understand this better than that.
Right, that version.
Yeah, I can. Even though that is written in more, not exactly. I think that this one, is really trying to find the equivalent of the Chinese words.
Right.
And this one says in the beginning he's not trying to do that. He's trying to tell you what their mind is.
Yeah, right.
Not what they're, you know, and so he's telling you what it means, what they feel in their heart, and what they're saying, you know. And I do really love the idea that it's a
Stephen
story.
Mitchell one.
But then would have to, by all the things that I know, I would have to understand, yes, it's a story. That's a lovely idea because it's your story. It's everybody's story, you know. And I would get what that means, that first sentence. Not it's something we can't understand. Leave it at that, you know. Because there's more in there. It's embedded in this line of writing. Okay, now, and so what I like about this one is this, that when I read this poem, I thought, this is amazing. The terminology this man is using here, you know, it's fantastic. Because this term, and I just use my own language to say what he's saying here. And that is, when you see it, call it presence. When you don't see it, call it absence. The 10,000 things, nobody knows where life comes from. And then reading him, the author of this, he tells you that in Chinese, the idea of the 10,000 of things being born and being there, coming into the world, the word of it in China is, they are the 10,000 things, they refer to them as self-ablaze.
Right.
You know, and then he says, meaning occurrence, appearing of itself. It just fucking happens. It's just self-ablaze, and you don't know where it started. Now then, you don't know where it started because something that's born, something that becomes alive, it didn't start what you will discover if you look here in the void, in the cosmos. It says it has no beginning in this one. Right. It never had a beginning. Right. It's born, but it never had a beginning. Okay. And that is that because it didn't just begin, it only began because the whole cosmos evolved over millions of years, and somehow or other something happened where it could happen. Yeah, right. And I worked it out because this is so, when I read that terminology and other things I read in there, that language, consciousness and cosmos are a unity of three. They all they depend on each other. Anyway, they're all one thing. Leave that on one side, but something like that just was exactly what I wanted to hear, because it told me everything I wanted to know. And what I've just told you about presence, absence and self-ablaze is 10,000 things, self-ablaze. It is the most scientific statement I have ever heard about life, the meaning of life and everything that we understand. And no science will ever be able to tell you anything more beginning. They will never be able to tell you the beginning, you know. And so I love his terminology. And it was the first book I'd read. If I'd been reading that, I would not have been interested in it. I would think, what does it mean, Taoist way? I wouldn't have done it. It was the terminology. And I, soon after that, started to try to write my own poetry in order to discover the other terminology in this book. If I could use it myself, and I knew I'd got it right, then I would know what they were talking about. You know, rather, you know, I tried to work it out, but that was the reason I started to try and write the poetry. And I've got to write all this when I start talking about it, how to explain to people what it is. But it made such an impression on me. I thought, this is it. This is what I want to know. This is the Tao. I'm a Taoist anyway. And I worked out that this idea of appearance and everything and self-ablaze is to do with something what I know from science, which is that a wave of atoms is the same as a crystal of structure, because it's all structure but working at occurring at different frequency. Don't look for the beginning, it's all in pieces, that book.
Right.
Who's
the author?
Anything, just listen.
Who's the author?
Don't listen. I can't talk if you're fiddling.
Yeah. Who's the author?
Sorry?
Who's the translator?
He's called David Hinton.
Ah, him. Right. Okay.
David Hinton, it's on here.
Yeah. I've seen the book. Okay.
Okay, that.
Yeah. Right.
And it's in 3 pieces, the book. This one, and another one.
Okay.
This one. That's the other one.
Okay.
No. There's another one that says, without a cover. I put a cover on this because I've not even used the other one except with a couple of poems.
Okay.
Because I'm still, still engrossed with what I've read in here. I've read very little of the poems. I can actually translate about 22 or 3 of them. And that was the only way I could keep them in my memory, because they were too deep. Anyway, and so I had to understand them. I had to memorize them.
Yeah.
And that's how I could keep them. Okay. But I can understand them more easily now, actually, than I used to be able to. But I was already telling you about T.S. Eliot's poem When We Explore, and the idea of structure. And he comes at the end to, we arrive at back where we started. And anyway, this idea of frequency is in that poem, because he ends up by saying, when the tongues of fire are, when the tongue, how does it end? And all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, when I've forgotten it, when the tongues of flame and the rose, I don't know what I've got it a bit wrong, when the tongues of flame and the rose are one, when the rose is fused, the frequency is fused with the energy of the fire. Yeah, then it's one thing. That's heaven, that's God for him when he goes there, when everything is united. It doesn't, you're part of the frequency, and it does, and you don't, not differentiated, nothing at all. It's just the force of some kind, that you're part of. Anyway, so we're going to stop more or less now and carry on tomorrow, because I think we've had enough. But what is so fantastic about this poem is this. Now then, the 10,000 things, Hinton suggests at one point in the introduction that words are, all of them, 10,000 things. They're all of them self-ablaze things that arrived, and how they were invented took time and whatever, you know. So they are part of this concrete identity of certain things that exist. Yeah, okay. Right, now then, it's quite good to mention that, because I've been writing those jokers and all about words, you know, and you know how, because I was trying to talk about that unity, cosmos, consciousness and words, and that words and consciousness are totally linked and linked with the cosmos. And by the way, the cosmos is not the universe. Lovelock said it, and lots of people know that the cosmos is something that happened within the universe. We don't know what the universe is either, but it's made up of the same things as the cosmos, whatever it is. The cosmos is not a void, and certainly Amy's book is all about plasma, but yeah, okay. But it's not a void, and I really like in that poem there when he refers to it as the dark.
Yeah.
I like it because that is what we mean by dark, and dark is full, and it's not dark. It's not a void. So I like his use of dark. He uses something called, I'll talk about what I think about this after, but it's called mystery, dark mystery.
Yeah.
Dark enigma, that's what he calls it.
Right.
Now then, so, what is so good about this is the terminology. He uses these concrete words that he reuses. He never does that. He never uses the same word again. He just uses what he thinks is in the mind of the man. He doesn't use these concrete words, which I'm sure are in the Chinese in the first place.
Right, okay.
He puts his English, you know, nice way of saying things. And his is always a bit awkward, a bit, you know, rough and like hammering nails in something. It's a bit like that, the way he puts things together. So, I mean, I can repeat it. What you should do is just read it, and I will decide whether you should have a look at it, start thinking about it, or I should tell you what I get out of it. But I just love it because he's keeping to something I can understand. He's keeping to terminology that is really solid, like presence. He never uses the word presence. He's invented this concrete term. I mean, you know, and always and everything is a word. But the Chinese don't use any little words, not at all. They don't use and or for or to, or they don't put an S on something for plural. And you don't have tenses, little bits added on that make it a different tense or added. Nothing, they just got bang, 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 bang. And you have to put them together. And you do, because what happens is that you immediately get a picture out of those four things. You don't have to go over a line and then just think, then read it again and whatever and try and put the pieces together. You get them without having to fiddle about. It's incredible, and they've got so much to say, more than the English, because they've got references, sound, and that means a different word, and all kinds of, and the story themselves started from a picture of an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so it's fantastic. And so you need these words, and anyway. Does he use 10,000 things? I don't
No.
No,
No.
he doesn't. No,
Not in
he
these
just
two.
calls them things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really important that you've got these concrete terminology that you can refer to.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, so you can read it out, and I know it anyway, and just read it out, and I think then we'll stop. But these two lines here, they just floor me. They're just so brilliant, and they're possible because he's got the concrete terminology.
Okay.
In perennial absence, you see mystery. In perennial presence, you see appearance. This line, though the two are one and the same, once they arise, they differ in name. Now listen, you were talking about if you think of beauty, then everything else is ugly. That's not true. What it is that they're polarities of an idea.
Yeah.
And in between that, there's every shade of evil and beauty. And once they arise, they differ in name, and you've got the idea has arisen because you've got the polarities there.
Uh-huh.
And so I just think it's just incredible, this translation. Yeah. Anyway, so just read it and then you go home. Iris isn't here, but she'll be here at no time at all.
Yeah,
and I'm
she
going
should
to
be
sleep.
here in half an hour. Yeah, you're going to go to sleep.
Yeah, I think I've had enough. I'm going to go to sleep. It's getting quite late. You see, it's 8:30. 9:30 I normally would go to sleep 10 o'clock. But,
Yeah.
but I'll go now if I feel like it. I might do a bit more reading and then fall asleep.
A way you can call way isn't the perennial way.
Now then, I just want to add, I might as well, I'm going to do this, I know I am. Perennial.
Mhm.
I love his use of that word instead of just eternal. Because first of all, I think eternity and the cosmos are not the same thing.
Mhm.
But what's good about perennial is it means forever, but somehow it's got a feeling that it doesn't have to last forever.
Mhm.
Because it's seasonal. It's like it comes every year. You get
Yeah,
autumn,
right.
you get all these things, you know, and it keeps on going. But somehow you just have the feeling that, you know, it's not so eternal
Uh-huh.
as we think it is. And I think it's a terrific choice.
Right.
'Cause I think he knows what he's trying to say. He's trying to say what the Chinese are saying. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of eternal, perennial.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Okay. A name you can name isn't the perennial name. The named is mother to the 10,000 things.
I mean, shall we just go through it a little bit? The name you can name, that what that means. I mean, it's obvious to you. We don't even need to say it because the first sentence, way you can call way, isn't the perennial way, and then you come to the name you can name, and you think, no, it isn't. You know, there's one thing that says, well, for the same reason that it's your way, and when you can name something, it's everybody. It means something different to them.
Yeah.
And so there is no name that is completely, there is no solid name,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
There
no,
probably is a thing called presence that's solid because it's kind of, you know, it's made up of degrees, you know. Anyway, but the idea of these two polarities, it's got every degree and every shade between it.
Mhm.
It's not if you think of God then good, then you're going to think of evil. It's that they are. You could think of the idea.
Yeah.
The idea has been put into words. Animals have that idea. They know something's bad and they know something's good, but they never put it into words. And this is the basis of our language, that we can put things into words and understand all the degrees
Uh-huh.
and everything, you see. Yeah.
Which is why language is one of the three.
Pardon?
This is why language is one of the three forces of the universe, or
What is the
language?
Language.
Consciousness,
yes.
and
consciousness and whatever.
But language is the name. Yeah.
That's what makes us different than other animals. They're all conscious,
Mm-hmm.
and they all relate to the cosmic vibes. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the named is mother to the 10,000 things, but the unnamed is origin to all heaven and earth.
I mean, you can work those things out for yourself. You don't mean to be told, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One's universal, one is more particular. You know, it's a mother, who every child she has is different.
So it's the other way round.
Maybe they're the same, and they've got their own difference, nothing to do with her. Maybe they came from some sort of energy that became very specific. Well, they are part of her because she's the one who gives birth. It's the name, the Earth Mother is the name we give to the occasion of birth happening, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And she was worshipped by the old Stone Age people.
Who's this? Gaia?
The Earth Mother.
The Earth Mother, right. In perennial absence, you see mystery. And in perennial presence, you see appearance. Though the two are one and the same, once they arrive, they differ in name.
I think his way of saying that is incredible. They arise on their own, but once they've arisen, we've got the idea. And they do it, by us just thinking about it. And then we invent these words, good and evil, to put the idea together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. There's every shade between it once you've named those words.
Got you. Yeah.
Don't you see how brilliant that translation is? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I mean, they say it's yin and yang, isn't it? That there's black and white, and positive and negative, but that nothing happens without both. It's only when there's both there.
It means that they merge into each other.
Yeah, or that everything, positive and negative doesn't merge into each other.
There's a poem in there, very simple little poem. It says, autumn arrives unnoticed. This is yin and yang, that's why I'm telling it to you. Autumn arrives unnoticed. It's about something seasonal. That's yin and yang, the season. That's why it's good to use the word perennials. Yeah, okay. Autumn arrives unnoticed. Slow, little by little, nights get longer, and clear winds grow colder and colder. Summer's haze giving way. My thatch hut grows silent. At the bottom step, lit dew it shines in bunch grass or something like that. Then it's arrived, that's autumn, there it is, the dew shining in the grass.
Yeah, right.
It's just so minimal. It's incredible.
Right.
Compared to what English poetry was at the time.
It's very correct. Anyway,
Sorry?
it's a very correct description of autumn.
It's something so scientific, isn't it?
In the last week, it's nothing's in the last week nothing has changed really. But it's got cold, and I noticed
we don't know when it started.
Yeah, and I noticed suddenly that one day the condensation on the window has come back again. And that it's that time is back again.
You realise it's been coming, and you haven't noticed. Actually.
Yeah.
It's just really good, and this is yin and yang anyway.
Okay.
That poem's completely saying what yin and yang is. Seasonal. Everything changes. So good and evil is yin and yang.
Yeah.
And in between is every degree of change.
Right.
Yeah.
And one will always go to the other one. It never stays in one place. It'll always go from yang to yin and yin to yang and yang to yin and yin to yang.
No, I mean, there's never something you can call complete evil. You just know that is where it's kind of, that everything is between those two polarities of an idea.
Right, okay, yeah.
Once you've given them a precise, solid term like that, that can be moved around, evilist or whatever, yeah. Okay, so let's carry on with this poem and then you must go, because we'll read the other one another time.
Okay. So in perennial absence you see mystery, and in perennial presence you see appearance.
You see, he's able to use perennial and again, and absence again, and presence again. It's really, really important to have these iconic fixed words, these concrete terminology.
Though the two are one and the same, once they arise, they differ in name.
Isn't that brilliant, Ben?
Yeah.
It's just such genius to be able to put that sentence together.
It actually rhymes as well.
Once they arise, they differ in name. It's so grand and so spiritual, it's amazing.
One and the same, they're called dark enigma. Dark enigma, deep within dark enigma. Gateway of all mystery.
I mean, I would just as easily prefer just darkness there. You don't have to put mystery, but he wants to put dark mystery, but because that's their terminology, the Chinese, they call that. He's translated that really accurately, obviously.
I mean,
dark enigma, mystery, puzzle. Yeah.
Well, is it different, these two? Because this one says darkness within darkness.
I think that's really kind of good enough.
Yeah, that's all right. But then it says the gateway to all understanding. Whereas this is dark enigma within dark enigma, gateway of all mystery.
Yeah.
And mystery is not understanding.
Yeah, right.
Is it? It's different. That's to all understanding, and this is to the mystery.
Yeah. But in a way, all about mystery and understanding the polarities of the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
According to that second poem. Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, you can put either. But
a mystery is something that happens, but you don't know why. So you think you start to think, why did that happen?
I think it happens. I'm not sure. It might never happen, but you're aware that it could happen. I don't know. Something could be, maybe it's never happened, but I don't know. It's something you just don't know. But it's embedded within the darkness, and darkness is full as well.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Do you know that in astronomy, the latest science, astronomy, they say that all the matter that you can see in the observable universe, meaning things you can see and detect, like stars and planets and forces and things like that, have not got enough mass to create the shapes that galaxies and
to create what?
To create the shapes. There's not enough gravity to hold the galaxies together in these compact. In these.
I don't know what you say.
A galaxy.
Yeah.
Is a clump. It's attracted by gravity and it becomes a unit. And it's separate from other galaxies. And the reason it does that is gravitational attraction.
Yes.
Yeah, the mass.
Yes.
Well, they're saying that if you measured all the mass of all of those stars and matter in those galaxies,
it's not enough gravity.
There's not enough mass to create the gravity needed to make that shape. Right?
I've got to understand this. There's not enough mass to do what to the gravity?
To create enough gravity to make that shape.
Okay, so somehow...
There's not enough stars in the galaxy to keep it together as a galaxy. It should fly apart, sort of thing, right? Okay. So what the new science says is that there's a thing called, they've extrapolated that there's a force, there's dark matter that you can't ever touch or feel it or find out anything about it, but it does have mass of some sort, and this is there, and they're trying to work out what dark matter is. And there's also dark energy, which is, I don't know the difference between dark matter and dark energy, to tell you the truth, but these make up 80% of the universe. It's like what you can see and feel is like really the smaller part of the universe. So it sort of fits in with this idea of, it's somehow the mystery is what keeps the universe together. Most of what you the things that happen are still a mystery.
I think it's something spiritual.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's the catalyst where frequency stops, and therefore something happens that had nothing to do with the frequency that's making everything else exist. I don't know, but I'm just thinking something like that. But maybe there'll be some sort of link with this plasma idea in Edith's book. And I'm not reading it yet because when I do read it, I want to read it non-stop. And that means I've got to put all of this on one side for the moment. And I'm still dealing with this a bit without any extra information, which might change everything for me. I don't know, but I still want to do it first without even thinking about how that weaves in or not. Right.
You might get some time in.
And I do want to do it, but my next job is just working on this, and then I've got to, what I'm talking to you about, I want to get that written down so that I can say all that in an essay. And I will print the poems out and make some comments underneath. That's the way I'll do it. But anyway, that's what I would be wanting to try and work out quite soon, if I can.
You should do these things, Mum, and I mean, you're so busy with so much in your life. I know.
That's my problem, but I will one day do them, and I might as well do them now, because the sooner I get this book done, the better, and I want some Tao in it. Not everything I want to do, but some. I want to start to talk about that. So I should be doing that, because I've got to start making things for this book. I've got loads. Even if I didn't do anything, I could get them all off the internet that I've already done.
Maybe, I don't know, just thinking, you're saying you're trying to save the planet, and you seem to not be, maybe you're labelling something as good and something, and then therefore you've created something that's bad.
Sorry, try to say that again, what?
Maybe you're creating
I've got reading glasses, I can't see beyond.
Saving the planet is a good outcome, whereas there might be a bad outcome, which is the terrible outcome for the planet.
By saving the planet, by me?
No, I'm just talking about in reference to this poem. You're giving something that's good and something else is bad. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's good to save the planet, right? So it's obviously bad if the planet doesn't get saved. But maybe the planet's the planet.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe the planet's the planet, and it's got to do what it's got to do, sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, you get upset if you can't save the planet, and this has a whole effect on you.
Yeah, there is no other one, you see.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, it makes sense.
So maybe we don't need to be alive. We don't need to live. Maybe we just stay part of the thing.
Maybe, or maybe we need to...
With no identity. Because to me, for whatever reason, we won't go into, I won't try to remember, but I'm sure that life means identity. And when you're not alive, you don't have identity. And when you are alive, that's when you are different than anybody else.
I understand that.
And you've got this identity that you can then try to end up being yourself, your identity, that you use it to develop your identity.
Or something that's never been developed before.
And that's useful to the planet, yeah.
It's useful to the cosmos.
Yeah. And it is a spiritual thing all the time, and that's what that linking means, that it's all part of the cosmos. Consciousness and words are the same sort of thing. And I think he ends up saying really vague things in here because he's not being solid. One of the things he says that's not real. It's like, but it's very useful. Sometimes it makes it more easy. I mean, this last piece is really, really good, because what David Hinton's left with here is that's why a sage abides in the realm of nothing's own doing. Nothing's own doing is something oft repeated. It's something I wanted to know what the terminology meant. Nothing's own doing. And it's, anyway, so that's part of this. But anyway, but he's talking about the realm, the land in your mind or whatever, of nothing's own doing. And so that's the subject of here. Without dwelling there, that's the one way you'll never lose it. Now then, I find that difficult to understand. And I did work something out for it, but this man, by the time he has a totally different way of talking about it, the master acts without doing anything, teaches without saying anything. He's using these polarities all the time, which is really good.
Right.
You know, because that means it connects to the way he's translating that. Things arise and she lets them come. That's really says a lot, you know, to me. Don't, wait a minute. She teaches without saying anything, so it means that you think she's doing nothing, but she's actually doing something. You might think that nothing's own doing means doing nothing, but it doesn't. It means do something. It does. It takes me time to explain that, but it does. And he said it very clearly here that it means, that's what it means. Anyway, and she acts but doesn't possess. She has something but doesn't possess it. That's why it exists. It exists because it remains. It doesn't move just and disappear. Once you've got it, it's there. Or once it's registered, you've acknowledged it, then you've made it exist. It exists anyway, but you've kind of made it exist even for you.
Because you've seen it.
So even though you let it go, you don't care about it at all. Anyway, it's very, very good how he's done it. Wait a minute, this is the last line that is really clear. When her work is done, she forgets it. That's why it lasts forever. That's clear. It's clear as crystal. That's not clear. You have to think about it. But yeah. So it's all very useful to read this as well.
Both it, yeah.
It's very, very good. But I wouldn't really have bothered with it too much if I didn't have that terminology to hold on to, you know. If everything he says is expressed in whatever words he thinks are best, instead of keeping to the terminology.
Right, yeah.
I prefer his words as well. They're more exact. he says, for example, long and short measure each other. What does he say? He says long and short define each other. I'd rather have the thing that's belonging to long and short more easily. All right, it's a definition and whatever, but it's vague compared to him.
Yeah, because
I think
it's a
he's
measurement.
great,
So they measure each other. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, so we made a start, but I've got to do this and then somehow edit it so that that's the best way I can say it in an essay in my book.
Mm-hmm.
It's going. I've worked something out for another. Never mind, I haven't worked it out. I've got to do these 2 poems. Yeah. I've worked out another aspect of the way to say something else, and it could be a separate little article about how the characters don't have things in between them and how you get it all in one go and everything, and how it's the language itself that invented the poetry, invented everything. Anyway, yeah, okay. And therefore, one of the things I say is, are we just a verbal construct? Do we exist?
Right, yeah.
Anyway, and that's on my nativity. Who made the world? God did. Who made God? You did. Are we just a verbal construct? Homo sapiens. Not homo eloquax. I mean, yeah. You must go now, mustn't you? Okay. Because I've got too much in my mind at the... No, I haven't, but this is what I want. Whilst I'm in that hospital, I would like to do this essay, if I could, of these 2 poems.
Okay, well it sounds like it would...
This is why I don't want so many visitors. I want to think.
Yeah.
But I promised myself, kind of, because this is what Colette said, not to even be writing anything, except because I have to write some things for her for my blogs, who will do it, but just reading and carrying on and reading more things that tell me more about it, Jean Krell told Andreas to get 2 books, and they are interesting, but it's kind of added stuff to what I'm kind of finding out already.
Right.
Okay,
you had a... Hi, Iris!
Iris, good.